FileMaker has one of the easiest reporting tools of any database on the market, yet it is also powerful enough to produce a wide variety of reports. It can easily organize your records into any grouping based on the contents of a field. For instance, imagine this analogy. You have a whole bag of marbles. You could organize those marbles into different bags based on color, or size, or pattern, or any characteristic of that marble. Well, the characteristics of a marble are like the fields in a database. You can take any field and say, let's look at all the contents on all the records for this particular field and then organize the records by that. For instance, you might have an invoicing solution where you sell products. You could go ahead and say, give me a report of how many of each product and the total of the dollar sales for each product by widget, super widget, and whatever products you might have. You can organize them, and you can even do it by month or by year or by week. You have all kinds of flexibility. In our example, you could organize all of your contacts by category. We could have categorized by nonprofit, commercial, and government. And so that's what we're going to do as our first basic sub-summary report. So let's go ahead and try that. We're going to go into layout mode. First thing I'm going to do is get rid of all these page margins. I'm not a big fan of them. It's a personal preference, but I'm going to get rid of all these rulers here also. I like to have a nice, clean working environment here, and I generally don't need those unless I'm working on some type of specialized layout that might be like a merge letter or something like that. So let's get rid of them, and then we're going to create a new layout. I'm going to call this report by category. Make sure we have the right table chosen, not zips. We want contacts. And then we're going to choose blank layout here because I want you to learn all the nuts and bolts of how to create a sub-summary, because that way you can make any kind of report you want. So all we have to do is hit finish. And I did just notice a little mistake here. So let's go to manage layouts, and we can go in here and edit this and then put a space in there. That looks better. And then we'll close that. So we're going to show you the basics here, the minimum requirements for a sub-summary report. And all you need is a sub-summary part and a body. So you won't actually need a footer. So we're actually going to go ahead and delete that eventually. We're going to move this up and tighten it up a little bit, but let's show you what we need. We need a sub-summary part, so let's start with that. And what I'm going to do is double click on the header. Now, that doesn't mean you can't have a header and a sub-summary and a body and a footer. It's just I want to show you the minimum requirements and not worry about that. You can add the header in later. And often with the report with a sub-summary in it, you do have a header and a footer. But for right now, let's make it really basic. So we'll double click on the header, and we'll change that to a sub-summary. As soon as you click on this, you'll see now you have these fields over here available. You want to choose a field you want to organize by, which in our case is category, and click OK. It's that simple. Sub-summarize by the category, leading. Now this leading refers to being before the body part. If you change the footer into a sub-summary by category, you'll notice it'll say trailing. And you can have two sub-summary parts just like this if you want to. It depends on whether you want your totals eventually to go before or after the body, or in other words, before or after the records. But we're going to stick with just a simple approach here. And what we need now in here is some fields. So let's get rid of these labels so they're easier to work with this. We're going to go ahead and insert a merge field. And when we do that, notice I didn't first click on the text tool, I just simply chose it. If we do it that way, it'll make its own text block for you. So move that in there. I think we need to make that a little bit bigger. So let's go ahead and make that, let's say 18 points sounds good. Make the text block a little bit bigger. Justify it to the left, put it up here, and tighten up that sub-summary part a little bit, because it works just like a body part. You don't want all that extra space there. And then inside of the body part, we're going to insert some other fields. So we're going to insert a merge field, and we'll try name first and name last. This will give us our detail. With the cursor still in there, I'll type a space and then insert another merge field, and we'll choose name last this time. There we go. Make that a little bit smaller because this is detail. 12 point looks good. Make that text block a little smaller. I want it indented a little bit so it's obvious to see the category. You'll see it'll be clear when we get into preview mode what it looks like. Tighten that up a little bit, and basically that's a complete report there. We're going to go in the next section take a look at how to view it, but for right now that's all you need to do. You need a sub-summary part, a body part. You don't necessarily need to have the category field in here, but usually you do have the category field because that's the one that we sub-summarize by. It helps to identify the category. And you can put any kind of detail from that record in the body part that you want, and you'll get a great report. And just make sure that your field or merge field or any object is not accidentally touching this sub-summary here, or else it won't repeat that body for every record. It'll think it's in the sub-summary part. So that's all you need, a sub-summary and a body part to make a simple basic report.